Umalo unhonhlopheko wecinga okhathazekile himele zomuhlwambo ngoko gongo yasebusa uma sewe pesesatho utatu kobe uyazama wathengiyaza lolimala izazela zeminyaka kodwa nango esebusa uma sewe pesesatho umalo sakazifonena uthi soze yamlanjini abanye abantu ubabeka phezulu phela ubomi busisa uma sewe pesesatho sebena
Kungamaxesha njena esicinga ba umculo angasisithunywa kwabantu baseMzantsi ngoba music brings healing, music brings so many messages, and music allows us to articulate our feelings. Good evening and welcome to the last broadcast of our very special program in honoring and celebrating one of our greatest leaders and humanitarian, uTata Nelson Mandela. Akuhlanga Lungehlanga Mzantsi. We started the show with a performance from the talented Bongeziwe Mabandla, a songwriter that hails from our very own Eastern Cape, with a beautiful tribute to uTata Madiba, and it's called Isizathu. Today, our beloved uTata was finally laid to rest at his ancestral home, eQunu, in the Eastern Cape. It was a ceremony that merged the protocol of a state funeral and the traditional customs of the Batembu clan.
And tonight, to start with a quote, "Death is something inevitable. When a man has done what he considers to be his duty to his people and his country, he can rest in peace. I believe I've made that effort, and that is therefore why I will sleep for eternity," end quote. Now, this is what Dada Nelson Mandela said back in 1994, and his words do ring true today.
Indeed they do, Robert. uTata Madiba certainly fulfilled his duty and responsibilities to the people of Mzantsi Afrika, and today we know that he is resting in peace and glory. Since his passing last week Thursday, Mzantsi Afrika, the African continent in its entirety, and the world have been mourning, remembering and celebrating the life of this very great statesman.
And also, after lying in state for 3 days at the Union Buildings in Tshwane, he was flown to his home at eQunu yesterday and finally buried today after a fitting ceremony attended by dignitaries, heads of state, friends and the family of uTata Madiba. And today we're going to be bidding a fond farewell to uTata. Let's take a look.
Fellow South Africans, our beloved Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, the founding president of our democratic nation, has departed. He passed on peacefully. Everyone in the country who today left everything they were doing to come and join the prayers and reflection, we thank you for this. This will go a long way to heal our country.
Well, good afternoon. On the day, hundreds of dignitaries, celebrities and world leaders joined South Africans at the FNB Stadium to remember Nelson Mandela.
Beneath the burning sun, there are hosts of weary hearts waiting to be won. Many lives have passed away, and in many homes to the living God.
To the people of South Africa, people of every race and every walk of life, the world thanks you for sharing Nelson Mandela with us. His struggle was your struggle. His triumph was your triumph. Your dignity and your hope found expression in his life, and your freedom, your democracy, is his cherished legacy.
I have the honor today to announce that the Union Buildings Amphitheater, where Madiba was inaugurated as president in 1994, and where his body will lie in state, will, with effect from today, be called the Nelson Mandela Amphitheater.
There are hosts of weary hearts waiting to be won. Many lives have
Umandela uthahlo mehlasele Osiyaya owesizwe lusaka Umandela uthahlo Umandela uthahlo mehlasele Osiyaya owesizwe lusaka Madiba uthahlo Madiba uthahlo mehlasele Osiyaya owesizwe lusaka Madiba uthahlo
Well, the great emotion that's come through from the funeral, giving a recap of what's happened in the past few days, coming through from the Waterkloof Air Force Base and all the way through to Ekunu, where the body did arrive yesterday and taken over to the home where officially it was handed over to the family. But the military, everything done with such precision that they would have been proud of how everything was carried out Unati for the past couple of days.
I think Utata Rob would also be proud with the amount of people who insisted that they be involved. I think they were the formal proceedings. We know the memorial service on Tuesday. They opened up Waterkloof to a few selected guests. But what was beautiful is seeing people line up on the streets to make sure that they see the cortege, line up at Military One as well, hospital, to ensure that they're a part of it. Because I think one thing that we all understand as a nation is that it's not just about us in the present, it's about our future generations, so that we can tell them that we were there as well. We were there, and you are also part of this legacy, beautiful legacy with regards to Nelson Utata Wethu Mandela.
Madala, we may be drowned in fear, in sorrow and grief. We must be proud and grateful that after the long walk paved with obstacles and suffering, we can salute you as a fighter for freedom in the end. Farewell, my dear brother, my mentor, my leader.
I think when a man who has lived as much as he has and experienced the world as much as he has, when he lets go and he allows his heart to speak on his behalf, the entire nation feels that. And I think that's what Utata was to many of us. And the beautiful thing is he took us back to his home, to his ancestral ground, Ekunu, such peace. I think for those who have never been to rural areas will never understand the peace and the serenity and the safety that those kind of environments provide for us.
Well, as it stands right now, all the tributes have been flowing in around the world, as it was covered very, very extensively by all the major news networks. I want to also find out from you, how do we carry this legacy now moving forward? That's the big thrust of what this show will be about here today. You've learned the lesson, you've heard the speeches, you've seen and heard the quotes as well from what Tutata originally said, whether it was before the trial, whether it was post the trial, him coming out of jail till the time when he sadly passed away. We want to find out how you're going to take that baton and move forward and make sure that that dream is realized. Plenty of guests to come through. Stay with us.